I'm used to being disappointed by our government, but not in the ways that I have been in the last 24 hours. The latest news reports from an ICE whistleblower in Georgia suggest that private prison facilities overseen by Immigration and Customs Enforcement have conducted mass sterilizations, eugenics, straight out of the Nazi playbook, effectively human experimentation on migrant women in detention. This is not okay. This is a horrifying violation of human rights. And it makes very clear that what we have been talking about at the border are absolutely concentration camps. We have to close the Trump-Pelosi concentration camps and ensure respect for human rights. That's going to entail a couple different things. First point I want to make here is that the migrants, particularly along the southern border, are fleeing a climate crisis. There is a drought that's growing increasingly severe across Central America over the past several years. And those people are entitled to asylum as an international right that we fought a world war at one point to establish. We don't have the legal authority to detain people en masse in the first place, let alone to conduct forced sterilizations without adequate medical notice to the so-called patients. This is absolutely horrifying. It's unacceptable, and the problem goes beyond ICE. It is very convenient for corporate members of Congress and corporate Democrats to wring their hands and throw their hands in the air, having funded all of these agencies for 17 years. From the Trump DHS goon squads that were suppressing dissent in Portland and Kenosha, to now the replication of Nazi tactics in ICE detention. These are practices that both parties funded. And we shouldn't just pretend that the people at ICE conducting these abuses are the only ones responsible. They've been getting blank checks for 20 years from members of Congress who have entirely failed to conduct the oversight that would bring these facts to light. We are relying on nurses to talk to the press to tell us what Congress should be shaking loose from the executive branch and has failed to do. I'm eager to get a voice in Washington that respects human rights, a voice in Washington favoring abolishing ICE and CBP, transferring the responsibilities of those agencies somewhere else in order to allow respect for human rights. These are critical questions before our country and the world. I'm very eager to defend human rights, not just here in the United States, but recognizing that other countries learn from us and replicate our practices. We have to absolutely guard the line here. That's what the incumbents, all of them, the entire generation of incumbents preceding us have failed to do, and it's one among many reasons why I'm looking forward to replacing Nancy Pelosi as San Francisco's voice in the House.